heard a lot of media reports suggesting that the valuation of Nykaa is around 7 billion US dollars. But let us bust some myths about that. Now, that is not the valuation per se for Nykaa. That is the pricing of Nykaa. So there is a significant difference when we say valuation and pricing. So today through this video, we are going to talk about those fundamental differences as to how we actually compute the intrinsic value of a unicorn like Nykaa. So let us look at some historical numbers and the historical results of a company like Nykaa. So if you look at their profit and loss account, you will see that the company has earnings through two main segments or verticals. One is the BPC, that is beauty and personal care products. The second is the fashion segment. So if we look at the GMV of BPC and fashion verticals on the Nykaa platform, you would see for financial year 2021, the total GMV on the platform was 40,460 million rupees. Now, if we break that up into BPC, which is their beauty personal care division, and the fashion segment, the BPC segment contributes to about 33,000 million rupees, and the fashion segment contributes to around 6,000 million rupees. On the average order value basis, the average order value of the BPC products is around about 2,000 rupees, whereas the fashion is around 2,800 rupees. When we see the number of orders that are placed on this platform, we can clearly see that the BPC, that is a beauty and personal care segment, has a much larger share, wherein 17 million orders were placed on the BPC platform, whereas only 2.43 million orders were placed on the fashion side. So the total revenue for the preceding financial year of the company aggregated to 24,408 million rupees. Out of this, interestingly, if you see the breakup of the revenue, the sale of products contributed to 21,809 million rupees, and the income from marketplace contributed to only 552 million rupees. Whereas apart from that, the company has also earned some other market support services income, logistics and gift cards. Now that contributes to around about 9% total share as the other income. So if you analyze through this PNL, you would see that despite the COVID wave, you can see a clear increase in the revenue from an year-on-year basis. Now that's a significant upside when we see and when we do the valuations of a company like Nykaa. So this essentially tells us about the company, that the company is not only focused on just makeup and beauty products, but also essential products that are required on a daily basis. Now, interestingly, what we have done is we have computed the other incomes as a percentage of the total income, and we have computed the sale, which is the sale of products from the trading. So what Nykaa does is basically acts as a trading company wherein it buys the products from these various brands and then it stocks them and then it sells it on to its customers who buy it from the Nykaa platform. So it is not a traditional marketplace or an e-commerce platform wherein it acts as an intermediary between the buyer and the seller, because we can clearly see from the Excel here that the income from marketplace is a very small portion of their total revenue. Their major chunk of the revenue comes from the trading business, wherein the company is earning their maximum revenue. So what we have done is we have computed the percentage of sale of products to the GMV. Then we have computed the take rate. So for computation of take rate, we have taken the GMV less the product revenue which is there, and then we have added on to the income from the marketplace. We have then essentially divided this GMV less product revenue by the income from the marketplace to arrive at a take rate. So now, after deeply analyzing the historical trends of company like Nykaa, we have understood that the company, despite being hit by COVID, has been able to make and generate some profits as well as grow on its revenue and GMV on an year-to-year basis, and continues to do that, and we can say that from their quarterly results which are published in the RHP. Now the fundamental question is how to arrive at the intrinsic value or the fair value of Nykaa. Cash flows, growth and risk. These are the three fundamentals of every valuation for every company. Now Mayank is going to explain to you how this is done. Thank you.
So when we talk about valuation, as Pranav has said, it's about cash flow growth and risk. So we have to understand whether this cash flow growth and risk, they do make sense to eventually come out to the fair valuation of the company, and what is that fair valuation of the company. If we talk about Nykaa, or for that matter any other unicorn or startup or any other company, we have to firstly see what is the cash flow growth and risk, these three valuation parameters, so as to arrive at the fair value of the company. This is not the price of the company, but the fair value of the company. So now if we see the GMV of the company and how we have plotted it from year 1 to year 10, it's an estimate. However, this estimate is somewhere around 62,000 million rupees in the first year, and this is the high growth phase that we have assumed for the next 4-5 years, and then going forward tapered it down to maybe 4,31,000 crores of GMV, 4,31,000 million rupees of GMV in the 10th year. Now, if we talk about the product revenue, which is as a percentage of GMV, because as Pranav had told you, their main revenue is from sale of products. Sale of products as a percentage of GMV has been very high, to the tune of almost 50% in the past, a bit more than that also, but it has, because the marketplace model has started to gain more traction. So we have assumed the product revenue to GMV ratio to remain almost constant around 47%, as we have seen in the 3 months from April to June 2021. Now, if we do that, the product revenue has come out to around about 30,000 million in the first year, and then going towards 10 years, it's come out to around 2,02,000 million. So then marketplace income, we have assumed a take rate concept to it. Why a take rate is because just like Zomato, Paytm or any other unicorn marketplace startup, we have assumed that Nykaa is going to take a percentage of the marketplace activity that goes through its platform. Now that percentage, as per past example, as per past historical trend, has been around about 2, 3, 4%, but we have assumed a liberal 5% marketplace take rate. Now, because of which marketplace income has been estimated to 1650 rupees million to going as high as 11,400 rupees million in the 10th year. Now, these can be conservative, these can be liberal, but as per us, these are pretty liberal assumptions. Now, other incomes like marketing support and logistics have or gift card revenue, because once you are in the marketplace, you have a platform with you, you have your customer base, you have your user base and the merchants. So eventually you start earning ancillary incomes also from them, such as market support income, logistics, gift card revenue, gift card expiration revenue, and others also. So we have assumed a liberal other incomes in this manner, not the other incomes like an interest income or so, but other incomes, other operating incomes as 4,000 million in the first year and going as high as 30,000 million in the 10th year. Based on this, we have arrived at a total revenue figure, as you can see. Now, EBITDA margins, of course, as and when operating leverage starts to kick in, and as the revenue starts to grow, operating leverages starts to kick in, and based on which EBITDA margins tend to expand disproportionately higher. So we have assumed higher EBITDA margins going forward from the current EBITDA margins to as high as 14% in the 10th year, as you can see. Based on this EBITDA margin, we have computed a NOPAT. NOPAT is net operating profit after tax. It's based on the fact that the interest cost seems to be almost negligible for the company, because company is currently also a debt free, mostly very little debt in the company, and after the IPO it would be mostly debt free. And going forward, because the fact that it's already earning free cash flow, so we are assuming the free cash flow trend to go forward also. So based on this NOPAT, which is a net operating profit after tax, and a sufficient level of reinvestment, we have assumed a free cash flow to firm rate. Now, this free cash flow to firm is a bit negative, we have assumed, for the first 2 years, of course, because they have recently raised some IPO proceeds, and they would be spending on the platform, and of course trying to build the platform in a better manner and acquire more customers. So we've assumed negative free cash flow first 2 years, but they have very little accumulative negative free cash flow of only 211 crores, which is 2111 million rupees we have assumed. And going forward, a liberal estimate of high free cash flow generation has been assumed by us. based on this, a terminal value, which is a very big chunk of the valuation, has been assumed by us, taking a 4% terminal growth rate and dividing the same by the cost of capital minus the 4% terminal growth rate. The cost of capital, which is the discount rate, has been assumed by us to be somewhere around 10.25% when it falls down to maybe 9.5% going forward. Now, this present value to the firm in this manner comes out to around 22,550 crores, which is 2225, so just 225506 million rupees. Now, if we reduce the debt and add the cash in hand for the company, the equity value comes to around about 23,298 crores. Now, this value per share comes out to around 500 rupees per share, almost 490 to 500 rupees. So, in my opinion, maybe you can buy for a minor listing gain because the grey market premium has been very good. In fact, you might have also subscribed to the IPO, but I would not recommend a hold on the IPO or even a buy at fresh levels unless and until the share price sees a significant drop. No doubt, it's a promising business, seems to be promising because there is an expectation of high growth going forward and an expectation of good free cash flow going forward also, other than which is quite different from the other unicorns and other startup IPOs which have recently been launched. And I believe that you can look to invest in the IPO, you can look to invest in the share once it is listed, provided it shows a significant drop in value because of any technical or other reasons. So, I would suggest that you should buy the share only once it shows a significant drop in value.